the martial arts, actually boxing is the best in terms of getting in a fight and acquitting yourself well. Is that right?
You've absolutely nailed it, bro. Boxing's the number one. And I'm a kickboxer, and I'll say that boxing is the best thing to do. And there's a few reasons for that. But the primary reason is that the number one rule of a street fight is that you never want to go to the ground. A lot of people practice jiu-jitsu, wrestling, judo, these things, but you don't want to be doing that on the ground in a street fight because, one, a lot of these moves, a lot of wrestling moves don't work the same when all bets are off, when they can bite, when they can eye gouge, those kind of things. That's the first thing. Two, you don't know who his friends are. I mean, do you really want to be rolling around the floor with a dude and his friend comes up and football kicks you in the head? No, you don't. Three, he might have a blade on him. He pulls a blade out in the middle of a wrestling match. You're done. Four, you don't want to get arrested. I mean, with boxing, you can just hit him 1, 2, bang, and run. That's what you should do. Smack him and run because you don't know. He might have 20 friends in the place. He might have a weapon on him. Like, if I hit a guy, I'm running. I'm not standing around to be Rocky and be proud of myself. I'm out. Because the rule one of life is do not die. So boxing is nice and clean. It prevents you from having to... It's true. Rule one of life, right? Yeah. Boxing's nice and clean. It prevents you having to wrestle, roll around the ground. I mean, I'm a kickboxer. I'm a world-level kickboxer. So my legs are probably some of the best on the planet. And how often am I going to kick on the street in jeans in a crowded nightclub? Never. You're just going to punch. So boxing's the one.
Yes, somebody's mentioned to me that the inherent flaw of kickboxing is that you lift your foot high above the ground, exposing your nether regions to attack. Is that true? Is that a?
I mean, I think the inherent flaw with it. I mean, kickboxing is obviously if you were to put me in a cage against a man in a fair fight, my legs would hurt him badly. You know, I'd beat him up and I'd kick him and he'd deal with it. And I could kick him in the head, et cetera, et cetera. But true violence is not the same as a fair competition. And if I'm on the street, I've got jeans on, it could be wet, it could be slippery. If I'm in a club and I kick and I'm on one leg, someone bumps into me, I'm off balance, I fall down. Now he jumps on top of me. It's just, you're just reducing your balance, right? And it's the rule one of street fights is to stay on your feet. So you don't want to reduce your balance unless you can really help it. And especially in crowded areas with jeans on, or if there's 3 guys attacking you or someone bumps into you, you want to be on 2 feet if you can.
Right. And in mixed martial arts, is anything allowed?
No headbutts, no groin shots, no eye gouging, and no small joint manipulation. So usually you can't like bend fingers or that kind of thing. But besides that, basically anything can go.
Can you bite?
You cannot bite. No, sorry, you can't bite either.
I was going to say.
No. So there are still rules. Yeah, there's a lot of rules. There's a lot of rules with the fair competition that don't exist on the street. But truthfully, I mean, the number one rule, like I said, of life is do not die. And if you can avoid street altercation, I absolutely and utterly recommend you avoid it because you don't know who you're messing with. And some people have nothing to lose.
Yes.
Truly nothing to lose. And they're dangerous.
Well, because, okay, so one of the things that people say to me, and it's very flattering and charming and stuff. They say how brave I am speaking out. Yep. And it's true. I look at my colleagues, my former colleagues, let's say, from the mainstream media when I was a kind of regular Joe Hack. And I look at them and I'm thinking, you are craven, lily-livered scumbags. I mean, you know, I despise you for not speaking the truth. Because after all, it's the end of our civilization we're talking about. And you are participating in it by not speaking out. But completely. I don't find it difficult to do what I do. It seems obvious. It seems the right thing to do as a man, as a human being, and everything else. I mean, is being brave more difficult for other people, or is it because I'm not brave? Really, I'm just doing the normal thing. Or tell me about courage.
No, that's a really interesting question and a really interesting point. And I think that you just have something that a lot of people, unfortunately, are lacking today, and that's a strong morality. You see injustice. And when you see injustice, you're compelled to speak against it. And men have always been this way. You talk about men being reduced from our masculine imperative. The masculine imperative has always been against injustice. I think that men, because of our physical capabilities, have always had this innate ability to, or this innate desire to try and fix the injustices of the world.